Welcome, Lauren. Thanks for meeting with me. So we're here today to discuss a few points regarding Mario and his behaviour, along with some of the challenges that we have been facing. So today I'm going to outline some key points with you, and we can discuss and go over your concerns as well. Then we can collaborate our ideas together and add these ideas to the plan. So using all this information, I'm going to create what is called an IEP, which is an individualised education program, and we can then discuss and add in any goals that we create together today. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I am. I just want someone to start listening to me. I'm so frustrated at the moment. It feels like it's just falling on deaf ears.
I understand. So I'm sorry to hear that you feel that way and that no one has listened previously. If we can work together today, then we can generate a plan of attack that will be most beneficial for Mario, and that will actually see him enjoying Kinder again, and he'll be engaging in meaningful experiences again. So what do you think?
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you.
Excellent. So I've just got some things here to go through with you. Excellent. So firstly, I want to discuss some of my observations. So we've seen Mario exhibit some behaviours such as throwing himself to the floor. He's been roaming the room and engaging for very short durations of time when he does engage. So to get to the bottom of this, I began to observe and analyse these behaviours and find out why they're happening and what we can do to assist him. And what I have noticed is that he is quite active, which I can see that you've mentioned previously in our notes as well. And I feel that we could be altering the aspects of the program to actually cater for this, which would make it a lot easier for him. So for example, we can offer what's called an indoor-outdoor program, and that would not only allow him the flexibility to choose his own area and interest for play, but it would actually also assist in preventing these behaviours, and it would be encouraging him to make decisions for himself instead.
Yeah, I agree. He's very active, and I feel like he's been picked on this for not doing what other children always do as well. He really likes to play outside and does this at home plenty. So why can't he do that here too? Why does he have to be forced to sit inside and sit down and do a puzzle instead? It just doesn't make sense.
No, well, that's a very valid question. So as educators, we obviously can't force a child to do anything. However, we can encourage engagement in certain activities to promote learning. So educators can alter programs and ensure that way that obviously the best outcomes are reached for all children. In Mario's case, personally, I'll be looking to alter and include aspects such as an indoor-outdoor program. Obviously, it promotes freedom and choice in decision making for children, as I said. With that being said, I would still like to include and involve him in aspects such as early literacy, puzzles, and so on, but in a way that stimulates and engages him more. So for example, he enjoys puppets, as we know, so I've already placed an order last week to get them in, that way we'll be able to include those in the program more for him. I've also created some visual cues as well, which you can see here. So those ones are for you to take home. So I've created those as they'll help in assisting obviously and strengthening his understanding of routines and transitions. So that will in turn hopefully help with the adjustments to the routines such as quiet time for puzzles, group time sessions, and etc. And by focusing on his interests as much as possible, he can therefore make the most out of his time here with us.
Wow, that sounds really good. I wasn't expecting anything like that. So you can just change certain aspects to help him?
Certainly. So I've got a list of strategies and adaptations that I wanted to share with you, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'd love to hear them.
So far, and I mean, keep in mind this can be a bit overwhelming at first, so please stop me if you need any further clarification. So for one, we have differentiation of programs. So talking about the indoor-outdoor program, the inclusion of experiences such as Play-Doh, iPads, these can be used to build on letter recognition and aspects for transition to school next year. The differentiation of the program also allows Mario to learn key concepts and express his understanding in various ways as well. So for two, we've got the visual cues and the prompts. For three, we've got interest-based concepts such as puzzles and physical play, which is obviously what he's interested in at the moment. I'll be providing a job for Mario to ensure that he includes himself and participates. So at group time, for example, I might sit him down and he may be sat with me up the front. He may just be in charge of turning the pages or something that he can include himself in. And number 5, we've got environment adjustment. So bringing the outdoors in, setting up a calm down area for times where he may be overwhelmed as well, which we've spoken about. These have all been recommended strategies from notable and reliable resources, so such as Raising Children Network, Department of Education, and various websites as well. So by putting these strategies in place now, we can then set goals for Mario and help him to achieve them. So how do you feel about these so far?
These actually sound wonderful and really flexible, which is exactly what I was after. I feel Mario will respond in a much more positive positively to your style of teaching than the previous approaches that have been used.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're happy with those. I'll begin to implement these into the classroom this week, and obviously we'll be taking note of how he responds so we can keep track of his progress. I've created copies of the visual cues and any information sheets that may interest you as well. So as I said, you're welcome to take those ones home. By you implementing the same strategies at home as what we're doing here, that will be providing Mario with continuity and consistency across the board. I'm not sure if we've mentioned it before, but has he been displaying these same behaviours mentioned at home as well?
Yes and no. He can get very frustrated at home sometimes and can lash out. I think us using the same strategies will help him cope cope though, like you suggested. I think it will really make it easier for him.
Yeah, definitely. So it will definitely build continuity, and as I said, it will reinforce the outcomes as well for him. Is there anything else you wanted to raise today while we are here together?
Not really. I just want him to enjoy kinder again and not be in trouble all the time. I know he is active and can be a bit of a handful, but he really does seem to enjoy most of his time while he is here. I just want him to have fun and learn along the way.
Of course. So obviously we both want the same outcomes then. So I'll add this to an IEP from Mario then, and we'll document progress as we move forward. So depending on how we go, I may arrange further assistance with outside sources if need be as well, but we'll obviously just take it one step at a time for now. So I've highlighted his short-term goals as higher engagement levels and beginning to self-regulate his emotions. Are you happy with that?
Yes, I agree. He needs to work on his emotions before beginning school, and I want him to be participating in your program too.
Yeah, perfect. So these short-term goals will obviously then contribute to long-term goals of longer engagement periods and assisting him in the transition to school next year. So just think of them like building blocks. So he obviously must achieve all the short-term goals in order to complete the big picture, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see how they all link together now.
Excellent. So to recap then, I'll be implementing our agreed upon strategies this week. I'll be adding all this information into his IEP, and we'll be using the same strategies in both environments for continuity. So we'll document all the progress as well, and I'm confident that we'll be seeing some improvement shortly, and he'll begin to really enjoy his time here again. How do you feel about everything so far?
Very good, actually. I must admit, I was hesitant to meet with you initially, as you are not the first teacher to raise concerns about Mario and his behaviour, but I feel like you have actually listened to me and made changes based on what we've discussed, so thank you. I feel much better now knowing that we have a clear path for where we are heading, and that my concerns as a parent are finally being listened to rather than me being told he's just wrong each day. Thank you so much.
Not a problem, and thank you for taking the time to meet with me today and go through everything. So I'll create this IEP this afternoon after class finishes today. I'll email you a copy tonight for your records as well, so you've got everything there, and I'll keep you informed obviously about his progress each week moving forward. And obviously, you know, you can always give me a call to discuss anything if needed. So thanks again for your time.
Thank you.